to another session of yoga here with Miss Ingram in the basement. Last time we met, we were working on some of our forward bends here on the floor, and we're just going to continue on with those poses. I believe the last one we did was the revolved side child pose. And we're just going to move right on into the next one. It's called the both hands to legs bound revolved child pose. So it's kind of the same thing. I'm going to do it on both sides so that my face is not facing my screen in the back. Okay, I'm just going to go down on your knees in the child pose position here, just like so. And I'm going to take your right arm. I turn to the right, so I'm going to take my right arm and put it down by my left leg. I'm going to take my left arm and place it behind my back. I'm just going to get my body my body is touching my legs. So you want to get as low as you possibly can to the ground with your head. You want to try to connect your right arm with your leg and pull yourself down to the ground as low as you can get. And you'll feel a pull in your right shoulder blade. Okay, so it's helping stretch out that area. And you want to just focus on taking your deep breaths in. You want to turn your torso to the front, take your deep breaths in. Inhale through your nose, hold 3 seconds, and blow out through your mouth. And a deep breath in. And out through your mouth. And you can take as many breaths as you want. I usually try to do 10, but for timing purposes, I'm not going to do 10 today. And last deep breath in. And out. I'm just going to turn to the other side. Well, I'm going to turn to my left side. You guys can just switch and do your left arm to your right leg, right arm behind your back, and you're going to stretch on down. What you want to try to do is you want to try to have your torso facing outward. And so you're kind of pushing your arm up against your legs to help turn your body and holding this pose here at the same time. Again, you're going to feel the pull in your left shoulder blade this time because we're working on the left arm. And you're just going to take your deep breaths in. Hold 3 seconds. And out through your mouth. Deep breath in. And out. Deep breath in. And out. Deep breath in. And out. Last one, deep breath in. And out. So our next pose we're going to do is called the child pose sideways. And what that is we're going to again have that same positioning with our legs on the ground, our knees on the ground, my apologies. And instead of our bottoms being to our feet, we're going to have our bottoms up in the air. Our right arm is going to come underneath our left arm, straight out. And our head is going to be on the ground with our left arm in a bent position, just like so. And again, you're just pulling your right arm through as much as possible because you want to try to stretch out the middle back area at this time. And again, you're just going to take a deep breath in through your mouth.
I'm sorry, in through your nose. Hold 3 seconds and out through your mouth. In your right arm, your right hand, while in this pose, should be upward, facing upward. Your palm should be facing upward. Your left palm is flat on the ground, making sure that, or trying to make sure that your left arm is holding that 90-degree angle. And your right arm is just simply relaxing while pulling yourself forward. And last deep breath in. And slowly come out as you're blowing out.
And we're just gonna switch sides. And your left arm is now going to be flat on the ground. Put your your left palm facing forward.
Head is on the ground, and your right arm will be in the 90-degree angle. Palm flat on the ground as you're taking your deep breaths in through your nose. Hold 3 seconds and out through your mouth. Again, you're trying to stretch your middle back area. So you want to make sure that you're pulling your left arm forward as far as you can get it to go. And don't forget, you want to make sure that you hold 3 seconds and not rushing through the pose, so that you're ensuring that you're getting that deep stretch in your middle back area. And last deep breath in. Hold 3 seconds. And out. And as you're blowing out, you want to slowly come up.
And that concludes our child pose positionings for our child pose. We're going to move right along into the extended puppy pose and the different variations of poses you can do while in the extended puppy pose. So to do the puppy pose, you're going to, again, on your knees, 90-degree angle. You're going to stretch your arms out as far as you can get them to go. You walk them down. You want to have your head touch your forehead, reach your mat or a blanket or whatever you're using at the time to stretch down. Walk your hands out. Palms should be flat on the ground. I'm just gonna hold this pose right here.
Your butt, your legs don't have to be at a 90-degree angle, but this is how you stretch the middle of your back and your shoulders all at the same time while in this pose. So you're going to be looking pretty much like a puppy stretching when they first wake up. That's the goal you want to reach. If you do have a puppy or a dog at home, you might see them doing this every now and then when they wake up. It's a good stretch when you want to stretch out your back area and your shoulders. I'm just going to hold this position. Don't fall asleep while you're in this position. It may be a little awkward falling asleep in this pose, but it is easy to fall asleep in. Just make sure you're taking your deep breaths in. Hold 3 seconds and out through your mouth. Really relax your mind while you're doing this. And just focus on the pose that we're in at this moment. And last deep breath in. And slowly come up as you're blowing out. And the next pose we're going to do is called the Intense Extended Puppy Dog Pose 1. All that is instead of your arms being straight out,
You're going to have them bent. Oh, you're going to have them bent behind your head in this position. So your palms are together, fingers are apart, and they're just behind your head. And you're going to find yourself on your elbows and part of your chest. Whilst your legs should be in the same positioning. So it's going to be hard for me to talk while in this pose, but I'm going to try to knock it out anyway. Just remember while we're doing this pose to continue to take your deep breaths in, hold 3 seconds, breathe out through your mouth. Here we go. Then you want to get as low as you possibly can. You want your chin to be on the ground this time, not your forehead. You want your chin to be on the ground along with your chest. I'm just going to hold this pose here. Make sure my whole body is in the screen. And we're just going to slowly come out of that position. And that right there stretches your lower back area. Our next pose that was the intense extended puppy dog pose 1. Again, that's just simply arms folded, arms bent, on the ground, chin on the ground, chest on the ground, and your palms are together behind your head. So our next pose we're going to do is called the water grove pose, where your legs are in the air, toes pointed up, your elbows are on the ground. You're going to arch your back and bring your pelvis off the ground. And you're going to have your arms pointed, your arms are bent halfway with your hands pointed up. You're going to try to pull your chin up as far as it can go. You're just going to hold this pose here. Again, that's your feet are pointed, your toes are pointed up. Your pelvis is up off the ground. Your chest is still on the ground. Your elbows are on the ground, as well as your hands are going to be up in the air, like so. Causing that, with your pelvis being off the ground, is causing to help you stretch your back some. Then you want to have your palms facing you, pointed straight up in the air. And go ahead and just start taking your deep breaths in. If you're finding trouble breathing because you're on your chest, you might want to take a break and come back to it. And last deep breath in, and slowly drop as we're coming out. So the next pose we're going to do is called We're not going to hold this next pose too long, especially if you had difficulty doing the water grove pose. And the next one is called the water grove pose hands bound. So if you had trouble doing the water grove pose and trouble breathing while on your chest, this one might be a little more difficult for you to do because our hands are going to be behind our back. So we're going to do the same body positioning with our feet, our legs in the air, feet pointed to the sky, pelvis off the ground, chest is still on the ground. We're just going to take our arms, interlock our hands together, and we're just going to pull our arms up. So we're stretching our lower back and our shoulders at the same time. And you want to just focus on taking your deep breaths in and deep breaths out while holding this position. Again, this is kind of hard for me to talk while doing, so I'm just going to take my breaths in and I'll let you know when to release. And last deep breath in and release. And the next pose we're going to try is called the Lotus Intense Extended Puppy Pose. So if you remember from one of our earlier videos, we did our lotus positioning where you have to take one foot, put it on your inside thigh. It's pretty much the reverse crisscross seating that students usually sit in. I cannot do it, so we're going to cheat a little bit. But the other foot is supposed to go up like this. So we're going to cheat a little bit because I can't do it, so we're going to just do one leg up. I'm just going to tuck the other one tightly below us. And we're just going to start stretching out our legs while sitting in the half lotus position. And actually, this is what it's called, the half lotus. Sitting in this position. And you're going to stretch your back or extend your chest all the way up. And take your deep breaths in. Deep breaths out. This right here is going to help us open our chest more as they're doing the water growth poses. And if you want, you can rest your hands on your knees, your thighs, the ground, wherever you feel comfortable with resting your hands. Place them wherever you please. Last deep breath in and slowly release as you're coming out. And since I did the half lotus, I'm going to switch legs and do the other side so that both legs have that stretch in them and have the same amount of stretch time. Last deep breath in and out. And that concludes our yoga session for today. Well, I hope you tune in next time for our next yoga lesson. See you soon. Bye.
You did awesome.